Tennessee just kind of playing their brand of football this year, which is vastly different than a lot of expectations coming into this season. The Josh Heupel offense in the past few years with Joe Milton, Hendon Hooker has been heavily predicated on the passing game, air raid, spread them out, put it downfield. This year, however, it is much more ground and pound, control the clock, minimize mistakes, play good defense. And Noah mentioned in the Dogs of the Week video, I think, what was that stat about going scoreless in the first half for, was it a 3-game stretch for the first time since
63?
What year was it?
Or something.
Somewhere around there.
In the 60s.
Yeah, which is insane to see, especially from a Josh Heupel-led offense. But hats off to him. He has obviously changed the offensive game plan according to what he has. He doesn't. Nico is not Hendon Hooker or Joe Milton. He's not. Not to say that he's bad. He's just a different quarterback. And when you have talent like Dylan Sampson, and you're able to establish the run like that, you win football games. So hats off to them. They've changed it up completely and took down Alabama at home.
Yep. I mean, like I said in the preview, the key to Tennessee winning this game was getting a pass rush containing Milroe, forcing him to beat you with his arm, and pray to God that Ryan Williams doesn't show up. And that's pretty much what happened.
I don't mean to interrupt. I think Ryan Williams had 19 targets.
Yeah,
that's insane, dude.
They're trying to force feed him.
One-dimensional, really.
Yeah.
I mean, if you put Milroe in a box and make him beat you through the air, he has tendencies, and I don't know. I'm not saying he's a bad processor, but he's not one to sit in the pocket and go through multiple reads before taking off. That's just not who he is as a quarterback. He hasn't been developed that far. He's not a bad quarterback. He's obviously very gifted with his arm and legs, but it's just not clicking right now.
Yeah. He has a beautiful deep ball, and obviously his legs are a great security blanket for him. But when you go up against the pass rush, like Tennessee has, South Carolina almost was able to take care of business with their front seven, but just couldn't quite get it done. But Tennessee is showing to be just a little bit better than South Carolina. But yeah, just to point that out, just looking at the Tennessee defense and what they were able to produce. I mean, they had 3 sacks and 9 TFLs. So I mean, all that tells me is that they were able to get in the backfield early and often and disrupt, the run plays as well as the pass attack, and keep Milroe contained. And sadly, I did look it up. We're gonna have to hear this all season because Ryan Williams' birthday isn't until February, so he's gonna be 17 the whole season. But no, I mean it was good. Like I said, didn't get a chance to watch the entire game, but I saw the important part where Tennessee won. So, but yeah, the 2 picks also came in really clutch for the Tennessee defense. Shout out to them. Yeah, they pulled the Vanderbilt, control the clock, get the turnovers, take care of business.
It's a formula against Alabama. Possess the ball.
It was really interesting as well to see that Tennessee offensive line kind of take control in the second half, really get a push on the Alabama front. It's not something we've seen often under Nick Saban, especially. Those Alabama teams were fast, they were physical, they would pretty much always get their blocks and get a drive. The running game was hardly an issue, as you can tell by the likes of Derrick Henry and the likes of Mark Ingram winning the Heisman Trophy at the running back position while Saban was there. But it's very interesting to see kind of Kalen DeBoer, the reaction to him. Like, he beats Georgia, and everyone is like, this dude's the next coming of Nick Saban. Dynasty rolls on, and then here we are about a month later, 3 weeks later, and it's what the hell happened? He's dropped 2 games.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I wonder how much of the blueprint was shown in the second half of that game. Since since then they just haven't been putting teams away like they have in years past, even when they win.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, exactly. The formula is out there of how to do it, and they have not done the best job adapting and changing what they're doing to kind of escape that. And I think the further that we go in the season, the more glaringly obvious the coaching differences between Kalen DeBoer and Nick Saban are. Obviously, Kalen DeBoer, offensive-minded guy. These are all Saban players. Now, that's not a bad thing, but with the offense that he's run in the past, it's different than what Alabama has done and recruited for on both sides of the ball. I mean, you bring in a new defensive coordinator as well. I believe they brought in a new defensive coordinator. It's just completely different. You have, he came in early this year, and obviously everything should be in place, but it still takes time and him to even get his guys and his recruits in there. Yeah. So I think it kind of shows, and he's still kind of coming into his own. I mean, I don't think he's has that many years of head coaching experience. I know he's had some at lower levels of football. I don't know whether that be Division II or whatever. I know he's won wherever he's been. Yep. This is, I think, one of the first times where he's come into, position where you're playing this kind of talent so consistently. Not to say that he didn't play that kind of talent in Washington in the Pac-12, but as an SEC, as someone who grew up watching SEC football, it's built different. It really is. So I think it's going to take him some time to adapt, but those differences in how he's running the program are becoming very clear.
So he has only been a head coach at kind of this upper level since 2020 when he was hired at Fresno State.
Okay, I didn't know he was let go. My assumption was he had
hired. He left Sioux.
Oh,
yeah, I misspoke.
Gotcha. I was gonna say. Okay.
He was hired to coach Fresno State in 2020, and then stayed there for a couple of years, and then moved on to Washington.
Okay, so that's a pretty big jump.
Yeah, before that, I mean, he won 3 national championships at Sioux Falls. Yeah, that's the NAIA level in 06, 08, and 09, and then he was also the runner-up in 07. And he moved on to be an OC at Southern Illinois, and then an OC at Eastern Michigan, and then OC at Fresno State, and then Indiana, and then returned to Fresno to be the head coach. So
gotcha.
That's where the Michael Penix connection came in. Yeah, he was his OC.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So he has been a winner. He's a good coach.
Absolutely.
A good program. Mm-hmm. It's just, it still has marks of Saban on it, which is not a problem. It's just Kalen is not Nick. Like, that's just not how this works. So he's going to have to get his feet under him. And we assumed there would be struggles in his first year. Yep. No matter who the coach was at Alabama after Saban left. But I'm not knocking the guy, just saying he's got to figure some things out. And hey, look at Kirby Smart's first season at Georgia, right? It's true. It is what it is. You got to figure things out, get your feet under you, make the program yours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, not to knock his journey at all. Obviously, he's been a proven winner, but this is a different league. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how he does moving forward. Obviously, getting his guys in there and establishing his brand of football at Alabama. Big shoes to fill for sure.